Marion, we got word from our attorney going on midday that the attorneys for Mr. Dwight Montero, Mr. William Bowman II, San Miguel Limited, Mullins River Holdings Limited, and Valeritas Limited apparently went to the court today to try to get another injunction on the CGA to essentially allow 40 people who are members of the Belief Citrus Mutual to come to the SGM of the CGA that was supposed to be held tomorrow. Our attorney, Mr. Elrington, was around the court, got wind of it. I think they were trying to sneak in and do it ex parte without our attorney present, and made representation. And when the judge learned of all the particulars of the meeting that was being called and everything else, as I was made to understand, denied their request for the injunction to allow 40 people to come to the meeting, and also said that the meeting should be cancelled. You may recall that they have a claim against the CGA right now in the courts that will be heard on July 21st, and the genesis of that was they came to a meeting on February 26th of the CGS, the special general meeting, and they had not paid their fees, and so the committee of management said, you can come to the meeting, but please sign the proper paperwork and everything to get your fees up to date, and they refused to do so, although they were saying they were coming to, to bring the industry together. They refused to do so. They left, and then they took the CGA to court essentially to get a position that they can attend the meetings of the CGA. They should enjoy the services of the CGA, but that they need not necessarily have to be paying for those things, or something along those lines. So essentially, I want the members of the CGA to know that the meeting has been cancelled, and as we understand it, it has been cancelled because the attorneys, or the attorney for Dwight Montero and his fellow claimants, went to the court to try to get an injunction to bring 40 people to our meeting that should have been held tomorrow. Those 40 people are members of the Belief Citrus Mutual. That was denied, and given everything that's before the court, the judge also said that the special general meeting should be cancelled.
Okay.
And it's all having to do about trying to get control of the ownership rights that the CGA has in CPBL being the majority shareholder. The case that's in the court right now, I mentioned Dwight Montero, William Bowman II, San Miguel Limited. I believe that's a company owned by the Rose. Mullins River Holdings, if you look at the court document, Dr. Canton signs that. And if you look at the Valeritas Limited, he signs the documents there to bring the matter to the court as the chairman as well. No? I can tell you over the week or 2 weeks leading up to this meeting, he has been going out personally holding meetings with growers, explaining to growers why he wants them to get rid of this committee of management. The committee of management of the CGA over the past 2 years, on an average, I say every 9 weeks, would go to different communities to have meetings with members, to hear from the members, to share information. And when we're having a special meeting or an annual general meeting coming up, we go to discuss so people get a good idea of what the meeting is about, so they're informed. So the committee of management were having meetings like that last week with the growers, getting ready for the meeting tomorrow. That should have been held tomorrow. And when we got to Maya Center last week, Thursday, for that meeting, when we got into the room, you had Mr. William Bowman there, Mr. Mike Dunker there, and Dr. Canton there, with what we would call, a rent-a-crowd outside. And it seemed to us that the intent was to basically have a back and forth in the meeting, but we avoided that, and our chairman managed the meeting very well, and we were able to hold our meeting. But it was, in our view, an attempt to intimidate the committee of management and try to push their weight around on the growers.